Basically, I've been here 5 years now. Since then, we've done a number of games. More than I ever imagined that I'd ever work on in my entire career, to be honest. A lot of what's on screen is obviously take it with a pinch of salt sort of thing. On here, I've got a level loaded up. You're possibly going to recognise it. This is actually inside Stark Tower. This room is actually based on Basement Garage that is actually featured in Iron Man 1. I think it's in Iron Man 2 as well. But that's obviously in a different building in those films. But because it's such a cool room and there's so many cool gadgets and robots and loads of cool sports cars, again, we couldn't not have it in the game. The scenario that you're in is that Tony Stark / Iron Man, he needs to get a suit of armour. He's come back to Stark Tower with Captain America. The first few times you play the game, you'll play as Iron Man, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I need to go and get a new suit now because it's ready for upgrade, and now I'm Tony Stark for a bit. That constant change of characters, again, is something that we were looking for. It's something that's very frequent in this game in particular, probably more so than any other LEGO game. So yeah, obviously you'll get to do some exploring. Ignore that dodgy laser beam. Obviously Tony Stark being one of the more super intelligent characters, he'll get to interact with his computers and stuff and technos, and he'll be able to control things or like hack into computer systems. So in this situation you would control this helicopter to fly through some vents on the wall. Obviously at the moment it's just all a canned animation, but in gameplay you would have complete control. So obviously Captain America, it was always going to be the case that his main abilities revolve around the use of his shield. We considered giving him a gun, but it just doesn't feel right. Obviously in the film in the 40s, you see him using a gun, but as a superhero from the comics and what we see him do in the Avengers, it had to all revolve around the use of his shield. He was probably one of the more challenging characters to make him feel really sort of powerful and cool. So I'll just quickly show you. He's going to be able to throw his shield, target various blow-ups. One of his functional practical abilities for sort of puzzles is that he can throw his shield into these plugs. Running through here is some sensors that'll detect sort of security. This is the bit that you spotted before. One of his other abilities is he can sort of stand on a contact spot and redirect laser beams or machine gun fire. One of his other abilities is he can obviously get his shield out, and that is used as like general protection, so he will walk around like that with the shield covering him. That protects him against various hazards and stuff. And then the rest of the level continues on where you're playing around as Iron Man and Captain America, chasing after the bad guys and fighting a cool villain at the end. Even sort of like the newer recruits have been here 2-3 years now, so we're all really clued up on how a level should play out, where's best to put gameplay and where's best to break up the action by fighting some bad guys. It's almost like when you start here you get like a sort of a guidebook sort of thing. Most of us are fans of the LEGO games before we worked here, so we're already very aware of what makes a good level, but obviously you're always learning, and obviously we're always trying our best to make each game different and unique and cool, and there's something new about it, and that is important to the level design, obviously.